Hi Vinyl community, John here again. This is going to be a quick and dirty video, I think. It's at least as quick and dirty as I can make it. So as you'll see, this particular section is called, I've called it Black Music, because basically the artists that I'm going to show are all black, and you'll see what I mean when I go through. Technically I probably could include the jazz records that I've got in the first half of the year in this selection, but it would get too long. Okay, so here we got Booker T and the MGs doing our thing.
John?
Yeah?
We're lashing stuff down.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am. What am I doing? Am I talking to myself? Yes, ma'am. I was talking to myself about the spelling bee.
Another record which I picked up is Stevie Wonder live album. It's a lot of his earlier stuff. Good to have. I used to have an album, compilation album of his earlier tracks on CD. It's one of the very first CDs I got. I think actually I got it as a Christmas present from my mum when I got a CD player, and it's one of the very few CDs that I've kind of basically given away, thinking I'd never need to play it, but I often thought, wish I hadn't have given that away. So when I pick things up like this, it's quite good to have. Okay, I had some pretty good luck. Went to a charity shop in a small town next to me, and I found some really good records for £1. This is one of them. So this is Grover Washington Jr., Mr. Magic. Don't know much about this. Technically I could probably include this in the pile of jazz records, because it is quite jazzy. It's very smooth. Special record. Happy to have it. It cost me £1. So that's cool. And when I picked this up, I could see there were some kudo or kudu. A lot of records that had obviously been donated by the same person, because they all smelt the same. They smelt very heavily of well, cannabis, basically. So my bet is the person that put these in was probably into, you know, Afro music. So this is a really good album. It's a compilation, Mandingo, music of Mandingo. I'd love to get, I think it's a compilation of about 3 or 4 albums. This would be so cool to have more of these records. I'm going to do a needle drop of this, a really long needle drop, because it's such a really good track. In fact, the whole album is really, really good. It's bombastic and it's funky and it's got a real sort of serious groove and it's very intense. Really like this. and at the same time do a call out to Doug Armstrong in Canada, who's you know, quite a specialist in terms of reggae. This is a record which I found, obviously belonging to the person that had the records, smelling of cannabis. And I tried looking up on Discogs, and well, basically on the internet, there's next to no information about it at all. It's called Family Choice. Let's do it together. It's on an interesting label. Look at this. Taratone. There we go. Look at that. So this is reggae. Yeah. All right.
Got to let the music ring in your ear. You got to let it ring out loud and clear. You got to let the music take control. 'Cause every time I hear the rockers make my mind go crackers. Let the music take control. Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Well, rock your soul. You got to let the
Yeah. So it says marketed by Tabansi Agencies Limited, in a place called 16 Old Market Road, Onitsha. I don't know where that is, but if you Google that place, Onitsha, and check out the images, it's a kind of a rough-looking place. Obviously, a lot of poverty there, a lot of poverty, and it looks like a place with very little infrastructure. So it's amazing that there's even a marketing agency there at all. Anyway, so the people on this are Angela Crossdale, Pete Campbell and Pat Campbell. So, yeah, an unusual album, reggae. A different place, I stumbled upon this, Monkey Man. Yeah, the Maytals. Happy to have this on Trojan. Beautiful record, this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, but was this not the record that had the first mention of reggae on it somewhere? I don't know much about reggae, but this is a really good record. It's really rootsy. So, a fantastic find. Yeah, it's got a track on here called Revival Reggae. So, but it came out in 1970, this unusual record. Really good reggae. Okay, here's a few records which I'm sort of umming and ahhing whether I should keep hold of them. This is a sort of a very early rap record. I don't do rap. DJ Chuck Chillout and Cool Chip, Masters of the Rhythm. But it is, well, it says here 1989, which doesn't seem that long ago. But there's a label. I hung on to this purely because with this one and then this one, this is breakdance, a K-Tel record all about breakdance, and it's got a poster in it showing like people doing breakdance moves and things like that. When I put this on just to check that it sounded okay, my youngest son instantly started breakdancing, and it's incredible because he hasn't learned that from me or, as far as I know, anybody that I know, but he just seemed to have it in him. He knew what to do. So that was kind of cool. I should try and get some footage of him doing that. And then in that same clutch I also picked up this one. So this is Bootsy Collins. Now this is worth hanging on to. This is a really cool record. It's very funky. So Bootsy Collins used to be in Parliament. And this is one of his solo records. It's in a sleeve. It's just on Warner Boss. Here we go. But a really fun, interesting record. Not normally my type of thing, but I've got patience for this. Fun thing. And then the next three, these are, yeah, last and least. Okay, so this is a nice compilation album. Motown Review 2008, it says. Motown Chartbusters Volume 6. The reason why I hung on to this is not because I'm a huge Motown fan, although I don't mind, you know, some Motown music. It's because it's got a Roger Dean cover. This came out in 1970. Yeah, down the Motown. And I particularly enjoy Roger Dean covers. Even gives him a credit there at the back on the bottom. Next is I picked up a copy of Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. To be honest with you, it's the only one of his records that I would say that I actually like. It seems so much more mature than anything he released after this. You know, Thriller and Bad and whatever the records came up. They're more sort of teeny bop pop stuff, whereas this is like, in my view, it's mature person's pop music. It's got a groove and it's, you know, I just like the feel of the record. Got a lot of happy memories. I remember my brother-in-law having this on cassette and driving around in his Ford Anglia in the late 70s, early 80s. And he played this, and he also had Rumours by Fleetwood Mac, two big sellers I suppose at the time. I didn't know who Michael Jackson was then, but I really got into this music. And last but not least, I guess this is something I picked up at a car boot sale. This is James Brown, Greatest Hits, live. Yeah, it's James Brown. Don't need to say anything about him. Godfather of Soul, or whatever it is they say. Yeah, it's not bad. I quite like it. I don't have much by James Brown, and wish I did. So I was glad to pick this up for a couple of quid at the government sale. Okay, so that's my quick collection of black music records. Thanks very much. I'm off camping now, so I'll probably be editing this while I'm camping. Check out my next video. Bye.
Get 'em up and thing, think you'll be better.